So this past weekend, my girlfriend Madison and myself bowled a PBA event that was one of the high-scoring PBA events I've ever seen, and I've bowled plenty of very high-scoring ones. And now let's get into the PBA Wichita Southwest Region Open. Like I said, if I'm gonna not do it, just do it with a different one. Good ball change. Thanks. Might have missed that one at the bottom a little bit. A little dead up the back action. All right, so I started off with the center solid, missed a couple times. I know the scoring pace is gonna be really high, so I know a ball that goes through the pins the right way is gonna be more important than a ball that looks right on the lanes because they all seem to look right. I switched from the center solid to my Beyond Infinity, and that ball looked really good. It went through the pins the whole back half of the game. You know, it wasn't quite tackling the 9-pin as I'd hoped. However, it was good enough to strike out for 240 game one, and then I continued through that game two as I tested out my Stealth Pearl, something a little quicker, but still a big enough core to hopefully slow down in the right spot. So game two, I also threw it. I went 240, 230, off to a good start, but the scores are really high, so I'm not really too far above pace. I think the score was about between 50 and 60 over for two. Send it a little right and then like just not hook early enough to like pick up, and then you leave like a 3-10. There you go to dinner. So as for games 3 and 4, this is where it all goes wrong. I shot 220 game 3 with that Beyond Infinity, and then game 4 I started switching around, trying to find a ball that would fit better. I shot 205 game 4. I was 90 over, and now I'm still 90-ish over, maybe in the low hundreds, but the cut score is right behind me. So I don't have much time to try and mess around and figure it out, but switching balls clearly was not the key. And it's really hard, especially at tournaments like this, to figure out, because the pace is so high, and the pace right now is at 227 average, and right now I'm averaging just barely above that. I am literally on the cut line, so finding balls that go through the pins the right way, like I said, is the most important. Let's get into a couple more games in, and I'll tell you guys how I can fix my problem. Now we are a couple more games in, and we're looking a little outside the cut now. I shot 2-0 again and then 170. So now we're just looking to finish strong. I haven't bowled awesome. I've looked around a lot for different bowling balls, and what I could have done differently, what I should have done differently, is I should have just stuck with what I know was working, kind of looked at where people were striking from and tried to move and adjust there. A lot of times I feel like I get caught up because I can do so many different things. I'm not exactly your one-trick pony. I try and hook it. I try and go harder and straighter. And because of that, I get lost watching other people sometimes. I watch Spencer Robarge crush it going way left, throwing it really hard and straight, and I'm also watching Dio Bernard bowl okay hooking it, and I'm stuck trying both because I know I can hook it and throw it slow like Dio, and I can throw it hard, maybe not quite as hard as Spencer, but his look is way better than Dio's. I get stuck in between trying to do both things instead of figuring out like what's going to strike the most for me. Going back, lesson learned, I did miss the cut by 60 like I talked about. What I would have done, I would have thrown that beyond infinity. I would have stuck with it the entire time. I wouldn't have changed balls ever after I switched away from that sensor solid, but I did need to go further left. I needed to go much further left, much harder and straighter, and that's part of what you learn. It's hard to learn when you bowl really, really well because you don't think you did a whole lot wrong. But looking back on this for me, obviously I didn't make the cut. Even though I feel like I bowled well and I threw it well, that doesn't always add up to good scores. So what I can take away from this is that, you know, one, I'm glad I can learn these lessons here at a PBA Regional instead of maybe a national or a major stop. And two, the lesson that I did learn was, you know, look around at where the people are playing and not necessarily who is striking from those areas. So if a bunch of people are striking playing further outside, maybe I got to play further outside, and whether I got to throw it harder or different bowling balls to be out there, that's what I got to do. So looking back, lesson learned, and a good lesson learned for sure. And hopefully I'll take that into this following weekend up at Waxahachie down in the Dallas area. So fingers crossed, lots of lessons, some lessons learned, lots of lessons to be learned, I'm sure, in the future, as bowling is a never-ending puzzle. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you watching my regional struggle today. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.